Our top focus this morning is the split in the opposition ranks. Congress President Sonia Gandhi is going to chair a meeting of top opposition leaders. In fact, this meeting happened on Tuesday, but Mamata-led TMC wasn't invited. The agenda of the meet was to discuss the current political situation and to formulate a strategy for the remaining winter session. India Today has learnt that another opposition meet will be chaired by Sonia Gandhi at 10 this morning, and for this one too, the TMC isn't invited. This is being seen as an attempt by the Sonia-led Congress to show Mamata exactly who's the boss, who's the principal opposition party. Mamata in the past has launched various attacks directly at the Gandhis. A few weeks ago in Mumbai, after meeting with Aditya Thackeray and Shiv Sena leaders, Mamata had said that UPA is history and Rahul Gandhi only tweets and lives abroad.
अपोजिशन यूनिटी मेन एजेंडा रहा। हमको एक साथ काम करना है, एक साथ आगे जाना है और स्टेट वाइज काम करना है। एक फर्स्ट मीटिंग है ये, वापस मिलेंगे।
सर को यूपीए में शामिल करने की भी क्या चर्चा हुई सर?
बात नहीं हुई, लेकिन हम एक साथ काम करने के बारे में सबका
हाउस
We are together. We are all the opposition are together.
Sir, but some strategy has been finalized for the house, sir.
That cannot be revealed. Each and everything we cannot share it with the media. No, it is not proper. We have discussed many things. Yes.
And after Mamata Banerjee, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan is the latest to hit out at Rahul Gandhi. Pinarayi Vijayan has slammed the Congress MP for his soft Hindutva politics, saying that it's only going to further weaken the Congress. Vijayan's attack comes after Mamata had directly hit out at Rahul Gandhi, saying that he only tweets and is not politically active.
This is the symbol of the crushing of the voice of the people of India. We are not allowed to discuss important issues in Parliament. We are not allowed to debate things in Parliament.
Rahul Gandhi raising the pitch and firing his latest salvo at the Prime Minister. But the Congress President in waiting is under a chain reaction of escalating attacks. Not from the BJP, but the opposition itself. With fast-paced rumblings of an anti-Modi front, the man consistently at the receiving end is Rahul Gandhi. It started last week with Mamata's direct offensive on Rahul Gandhi, saying that a Neta who spends so much time abroad cannot be effective on home turf. A jibe apparently invoking Rahul's recent 3-week vacation in the United Kingdom. Then came a blow from Mamata's political strategist, a man who had almost joined the Congress party just months ago.
Will and stamina and determination to stay put till it happens. You cannot just imagine that I'm doing a tweet followed by then a press conference followed by few candle marches here and there and government should be on its knees. It's not going to happen.
If this wasn't bad enough, Rahul Gandhi has now come under attack from Kerala Chief Minister and CPM strongman Pinarayi Vijayan, a regional chieftain from a party that the Congress confusingly battled in Kerala yet teamed up with in Bengal.
ഇപ്പോൾ ഏറ്റവും ഒടുവിൽ രാഹുൽ ഗാന്ധിയുടെ പ്രസ്താവന വന്നു. അദ്ദേഹം കോൺഗ്രസിന്റെ വലിയൊരു പരിപാടി എന്ന രീതിയിൽ സംഘടിപ്പിച്ച ജയ്പൂർ റാലിയിലാണ് ഒരു ഹിന്ദു ഗവൺമെന്റ് എന്ന ആശയം മുന്നോട്ട് വച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഹിന്ദുത്വത്തെ എതിർക്കാനാണ് എന്നാണ്. ഇത് നേരത്തെ മുതൽ കോൺഗ്രസ് സ്വീകരിച്ചു വരുന്ന മൃദു ഹിന്ദുത്വ സമീപനത്തിന്റെ ഭാഗമാണ്. മതനിരപേക്ഷത സംരക്ഷിക്കപ്പെടണമെങ്കിൽ വർഗീയതയോട് വിട്ടുവീഴ്ചയില്ലാതെ നിലപാട് സ്വീകരിക്കണം.
In another swipe at Rahul, Pinarayi's dream of a Congress-Mukt regional front was symbolically endorsed today by Telangana Chief Minister and TRS Chief KCR. By meeting and breaking bread with DMK Chief MK Stalin, the two southern sons appeared to be signalling regional power. The meeting is especially hurtful to Rahul Gandhi, given that KCR had belligerently attacked Rahul Gandhi, calling him a buffoon in the run-up to 2019, for Rahul's decision to tie up with KCR's nemesis Chandrababu Naidu. And finally, the BJP's principal challenger in the upcoming UP election, Akhilesh Yadav of the Samajwadi Party, has shuddered at the thought of burning his fingers again by allying with Rahul's Congress, following the UP के लड़के disaster.
समाजवादी पार्टी ने कहा है कि जो अनुभव पार्टी को रहा है पिछले गठबंधनों से, अब उस तरह का कोई गठबंधन राष्ट्रीय पार्टी से नहीं करने जा रही है।
तो अच्छा अनुभव नहीं रहा।
वो समाजवादी पार्टी ने जो गठबंधन किया उसका परिणाम और अनुभव ठीक नहीं रहा।
The Congress is indispensable from any credible anti-BJP plan for 2024. The movements are plainly visible. Pockets of vocal support still remain.
हम सब 12 दिनों से महात्मा गांधी जी के चरणों में बैठे थे और आज दूसरे गांधी के साथ चलकर हम यहाँ तक आए हैं। अभी हम देखेंगे कि उसमें कितना है दम। हम लड़ेंगे और लड़ते रहेंगे।
But the continuing series of damaging attacks from so-called friendly forces will need an emergency response, and the Congress will need to get a fix on why its heir apparent has become the larger opposition's target number one. Bureau Report, India Today.
Come to the house.
And the battle for the state of Uttar Pradesh is only heating up. Yogi's #1 challenger Akhilesh Yadav has spoken exclusively to India Today. The Samajwadi Party chief has slammed the BJP for not fulfilling its poor promises in the state. Akhilesh added that people have made up their minds that there should be Yogi Sarkar in UP and not Yogi Sarkar. The party chief set the tone for battleground Uttar Pradesh ahead of the assembly polls, asking people of UP and saying that they are done with tyrants, calling out the BJP government for donning religion glasses just in time for elections. Akhilesh also made it clear that this time he will not be forming an alliance with the Congress in the assembly polls.
विजय यात्रा पहले निकल गई है, चुनाव बाकी है।
समाजवादी विजय यात्रा इसलिए कि किसानों को विजय दिलानी है, नौजवानों के लिए विजय यात्रा इसलिए उन्हें काम, नौकरी, रोजगार का इंतजाम करना है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जो संकल्प पत्र जारी किया था, आज 4.5 साल पूरे हो गए हैं। अपने आप को डबल इंजन की सरकार कहते हैं, लेकिन संकल्प पत्र पूरा नहीं हुआ है। जो वादे किए थे वो जुमले नकले, जो इनके विज्ञापन है वो झूठे हैं, इनकी बातें झूठी हैं। इसलिए उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता इनको हटाना चाहती है, इनका सफाया चाहती है।
अखिलेश जी, ये जन सैलाब जो आपके लिए उमड़ के आ रहा है, बीजेपी कहती है भीड़ इकट्ठा करने से चुनाव नहीं जीते जाते।
नहीं, सॉरी, ये ठीक बात है कि जन समर्थन आज समाजवादी पार्टी के साथ खड़ा है और जन समर्थन और उत्साही मतदान कराता है। ये वो जनता है जिन्होंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे भरोसा कर करके कई जगह 60% वोट मिला है, उन्हें 56% वोट मिला है, 51% वोट मिला है। अगर किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी पर इतना भरोसा किया हो और वो झूठ के फूल निकले हों, वो अपने संकल्प पत्र को नहीं पूरा नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। जिन किसानों को उन्होंने भरोसा दिलाया था कि आय दोगुनी होगी, उनके लिए क्या कानून लेकर के आए? जब 700 किसान की जान चली गई तब उन कानूनों को वापस किया। क्या कानून वापस होने से 700 किसानों की जान वापस हो जाएगी? इन्होंने 2 आयोजन किए। इस प्रदेश ने मुख्यमंत्री दिया, इस प्रदेश ने राष्ट्रपति दिया, इस प्रदेश ने 2 बार बीजेपी की सरकार बनाई। क्या निवेश हुआ है उत्तर प्रदेश में? आज नौकरी रोजगार नहीं है। जो नौकरी निकलती है उसका विज्ञापन निकलता है, परीक्षा जब होती है तो परीक्षा निरस्त हो जाती है, पेपर लीक होता है। ये कैसी सरकार है? इसलिए जनता ने इस बार मन बनाया है कि योगी सरकार नहीं, योग्य सरकार होनी चाहिए उत्तर प्रदेश में।
अखिलेश जी, आप 70 या 60 किलोमीटर दूर आपसे बनारस में प्रधानमंत्री हैं। उन्होंने बहुत ही ब्रांड दिव्य भव्य इनॉग्रेट किया काशी विश्वनाथ कॉरिडोर, वो भी पूर्वांचल में है। आप जौनपुर में सभा पे सभा कर रहे हैं। क्या पूर्वांचल की लड़ाई अब योगी वर्सेस अखिलेश की जगह प्रधानमंत्री मोदी वर्सेस अखिलेश हो गई है?
उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ने भाजपा पे भरोसा किया, बहुमत दिया, यहाँ पर योगी सरकार बनी और जो योगी सरकार ने काम काज अपमानित हुए लोग, फेक इनकाउंटर्स में नंबर 1, सबसे ज्यादा कस्टोडियल डेथ हुई है, सबसे ज्यादा नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट कमीशन ने नोटिस दिए हैं, सबसे ज्यादा असुरक्षित महिलाएं, बेटियां, माताएं इस प्रदेश में हैं। तो इसलिए ये प्रदेश की जनता नई सरकार चाहती है,
चाहे योगी या मोदी जो भी।
सवाल योगी और मोदी जी का नहीं है, सवाल ये है कि उत्तर प्रदेश में योग्य सरकार मिलेगी नहीं मिलेगी। और उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ने देखा है कि डबल इंजन की सरकार, डबल इंजन कैसे एक दूसरे पे टकरा रहे थे और अभी गुजरा है। ये दोनों डबल इंजन की सरकार नहीं है, डबल इंजन एक दूसरे को टकरा रहे हैं। इन्हें जवाब देना पड़ेगा भ्रष्टाचार का जो हुआ है, इन्हें जवाब देना पड़ेगा महंगाई का। आज कमाई आती है और महंगाई दुगनी है, बैंकें डूब रही हैं, सरकारी संस्थाएं बिक रही हैं, तो इसका जवाब भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे क्या है?
Unfortunately, there's a sharp spike of Omicron cases across states in India. 8 more patients have been found infected with the Omicron variant in Maharashtra. Out of these, 7 are from Mumbai, 1 patient is from Vasai Virar. 3 of the patients are asymptomatic, while 5 have mild symptoms of the viral infection. Till date, a total of 28 patients infected with Omicron have been reported in the state. Out of these, 9 have been discharged after a negative RT-PCR test. Delhi, meanwhile, has seen 4 more cases of the super mutant variant. So, at this point, 6 people have been found Omicron positive in the capital. 1 of them has been discharged. Meanwhile, the COVID task force chief, Dr. V.K. Paul, called for modifying the vaccines every year while raising an alarm that vaccines may become ineffective, and said India should have vaccine platforms that are adaptable quickly with changing scenarios of the COVID variants.
The best bet today, which the nation's policy dictates and policy amplifies, is that the 2 doses of the available excellent, highly effective vaccines, as we have seen up to now, must reach every adult. And that remains our prime philosophy. We should have no confusion on this.
As the UK braces itself for a tidal wave of Omicron, as Prime Minister Boris Johnson himself put it, you've got the government launching a campaign to accelerate the rollout of booster vaccines after several findings said that 2 doses were simply not enough to protect against the Omicron variant. The UK government is racing against time to speed up its booster vaccinations for all above 18 years. The government has sounded an alarm over the super mutant and its spread, even as the first Omicron death was reported.
And we know from bitter experience how these exponential curves develop. No one should be in any doubt. There is a tidal wave of Omicron coming. And I'm afraid it is now clear that 2 doses of vaccine are simply not enough to give the level of protection we all need.
The British Prime Minister has warned of a tidal wave. Authorities expect the country will have 1 million Omicron cases by the end of this month. According to latest reports, 10 people in the UK are hospitalized with Omicron, a number that could rise.
Overwhelmed NHS is not a good sign for the whole entire country, not even for those patients who won't be affected by COVID. The best weapon we have against Omicron right now, according to data, is the booster doses.
People coming from other countries like India on vacation in the UK are being given booster jabs.
Anyone who's living in the UK and who had the second dose 3 months prior to the booster dose, so anyone who wants the vaccine, they can come and have it, but it has to be over 3 months.
I'm really thankful and excited about it, because others in India going without booster dose, you won't get it. मिलेगा नहीं, फिर वहाँ तो मिलेगा नहीं, 6-7 महीने तक नहीं रहेगा. So I'm happy कि मेरे को यहाँ मिल रहा है.
Restrictions will return ahead of Christmas and New Year. The last time UK eased restrictions was in June this year.
With especially Prime Minister Boris Johnson calling it a tidal wave of Omicron here in the UK, COVID passes being debated upon during New Year time. It is a desperate measure and to surge in booster vaccines so that one can save the Christmas, but also people, because the infections are rising in the UK and the first death has already occurred because of Omicron. Lavina Tandon for India Today from London.
Let's move on to some other stories that we're tracking this morning. An airport brawl in Bengaluru could actually spell trouble for Tamil actor Vijay Sethupathi. A Chennai court has issued summons to Sethupathi as well as his manager Johnson based on a complaint that was filed by another actor called Gandhi. The latter had alleged that he was attacked by Vijay Sethupathi's team. On November 2nd, when Vijay Sethupathi was returning to Chennai from Delhi after receiving the National Award, a brawl broke out between his team and Gandhi. A video that you see on your screens there of Gandhi trying to jump over while trying to attack Vijay inside the airport had also gone viral. Gandhi later stated that when he tried to congratulate Vijay Sethupathi, the actor spoke to him in a sarcastic manner. This led to the situation escalating. Gandhi then filed a complaint stating that he was attacked outside the Bengaluru airport by Vijay Sethupathi's manager. All right, let's cut across to breaking news that's coming in this morning of an encounter that's broken out in Pulwama. And in the operation that's underway and reportedly over now, one terrorist has been killed. And what we can tell you is that after overnight firing, one terrorist has been gunned down. The operation has been called off after detailed search operations in the area. We've been seeing a number of attacks by terrorists in the valley targeting our forces. The most recent one being in Srinagar, where a police vehicle was targeted by 3 terrorists. We'll be getting you details through the day on the identity of this terrorist, but a successful operation there by our forces in Pulwama, leading to one terrorist being neutralized. Another global brand has appointed an Indian CEO. This brand, however, is unlike any other. 52-year-old Leena Nair is all set to lead luxury French fashion house Coco Chanel. The CHRO of Unilever, Nair had stepped down from her post after 30 years of service. She's set now to take charge at Chanel from January next year.
It's one of the world's biggest luxury brands with a global value of $13.2 billion. Known for its tweed suits, quilted handbags and the number 5 fragrance, French fashion house Chanel is synonymous with opulence. And from 2022, the group will have an Indian origin woman as its boss. Leena Nair is set to lead Chanel as its newly appointed global CEO. Leena was the first female and youngest ever Chief Human Resources Officer of FMCG major Unilever. An alumni of XLRI Jamshedpur, Nair joined HUL, Unilever's Indian subsidiary, in 1992 and worked for 30 years before quitting the Unilever leadership executive. The 52-year-old will take charge of the 111-year-old French luxury brand in January 2022 and will be based out of London. As congratulations poured in for the proud Indian from across the world, she took to Twitter to express her gratitude. Nair said, "I'm humbled and honored to be appointed the Global Chief Executive Officer of Chanel, an iconic and admired company. I will always be a proud advocate of Unilever and its ambition to make sustainable living commonplace." Leena Nair is India's newest shining crown jewel after the Indian origin trio of Sundar Pichai Satya Nadella and Parag Agarwal took over the tech industry in a span of 2 years. Bureau Report, India Today.
That's all we have time for in this edition of First Up. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead. Few minutes from now, I'm joining you with all the top stories. So stay tuned to us here on India Today.